Good morning. I'm about to head to work in the next half hour, but I've been meaning to make this video, so here it goes. Um, I have mainly two and a half things to report on. So one of them is, so in terms of work, um, it was getting to a point maybe 3 weeks ago where they were scheduling me for a lot of swing shifts, which are 9.5 hour shifts instead of 8 hour shifts. And we get a half hour lunch break. Um, and I was getting like exhausted and burnt out. And it was even to the point where I was like, maybe I need to look for a different job. Because I was just feeling overworked. And one day in the middle of one of those shifts, and a lot of people want to be hired for shifts like that because you make more money because you're working more hours. But yeah. So in the middle of one of those shifts, um, some switch just flipped in my head, and it was like instead of feeling like overworked, I was feeling really energized. And what's happened since then is that I think it's forced me to become a lot more intentional with my time in making sure I go grocery shopping, making sure I get my laundry done, making sure my room isn't cluttered, making sure I'm like not just on the computer or like talking to people and like not doing what I want to do. It's like, okay, I have limited time outside of work, so I need to use that time really smartly. And even on work to make sure I like am like spending my breaks the way I want to and things like that. And I think it's really good. I think it's a really good lessons I've been learning in that area because being a camp counselor and being an RA, which were the two main jobs I had in the past, it's very much like live where you work. Like I never had to go out of my way to make sure my laundry got done because while I was doing laundry, I was still talking to residents. I was still on the job. Um, so this is the first like hourly full time clock in kind of job, and I think this is a really good lesson for me to learn, especially because it's going to be applicable no matter what. And I think before I didn't really have to use my time super intentionally. That the kind of the things would get done um, on their own pace, even if I didn't go out of my way to do them. Um, and I had enough time that I could be more relaxed. And now that I don't have that much time to spend on my own, I have to be more intentional, and I'm really happy to be getting there. So now it's switched. Whereas before I was feeling burnt out and stuff. It even got to the point where I got sick this past weekend. Something was going on in my work, and also I was sitting out in the cold for one of my lunch breaks. Right now it's warm, but there were a few days where it was like chill, and it's funny because I feel like it's cold. It's like 60 degrees out, and it's clearly not cold by New York standards. But I don't know how I'm gonna survive the winter. But I was sitting outside, and I don't know if it was a combination or whatever, but I came back in, and by that end of the day, I felt like feverish and kind of nauseous and stuff. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna be able to come into work tomorrow. And that night, I was like laying in bed, and I was like, I want to go into work. Like, I don't want to be sitting at home doing nothing. Like, I'm gonna miss the people at work. I'm gonna miss the tasks. And that weekend, I went into work both days, and the more I was at work, the better I felt. And I think my housemate Josh was like, maybe you have some weird kind of superpower. But I think that it's a testament to how much I'm really enjoying the work I'm doing. That I could have easily called out sick because I wasn't feeling good, but I didn't want to, which is like, whereas like 3 weeks ago, I definitely been like, oh, good, give me like an excuse not to go in. Um, So I'm really liking work, and I really like my coworkers and what I'm doing. Even like the keeping up with the fast-paced nature of the restaurant is really fun for me. Um, so the second kind of growing pain is that there's this guy who's been flirting with me for like the past month and a half or 2 months. And I really haven't been giving him the time of day for most of it, but he's like fine, but whatever. But in the last like 2 weeks, I've been like, no, like it's kind of fun flirting with him. Like maybe I will go hang out with him. And so finally I told him, he always is like, so, like, when are we gonna hang out? And then this one time I was like, okay, let's hang out. Like, and he was like, oh, really? Like, so we like coordinated we were gonna hang out. I ended up taking the train over to his place, and he met me at one of the trains. And the whole train ride, we were like talking, whatever. It was casual, and uh, it was like not fun because we went kind of with the intention of like hooking up or fooling around, it and so I got there, and like one of the reasons I wanted to go is because the flirting was always really like playful or fun or affectionate, and the like it when I got there was immediately like, okay, let's have sex, like that's it, no affection, and I was like really vocal about needing it to be more affectionate, but it was like pulling teeth or like I don't know, he was like not. It was like a struggle to get him to like do anything other than just like have sex and that's it. Um, and I debated whether or not to like share this kind of thing on YouTube because it's more personal, but I decided to because well, I think it just is really relevant to people, and it's interesting to me because I'm walking away being like, well, that was disappointing, and it also shows me how lucky I am for the previous, like, my ex-girlfriend really set the bar high because it was always really affectionate and playful. And then these other two guys I've hooked up with have been really good in my life, have been like really like fun, and this shows me that I'm really lucky for that experience, which sucks. Part of what I was upset about having like felt a little bit cheated, but I also was upset to think about like a lot of women out there who don't know that there's another option other than what this guy was doing of like kind of being used as a tool to get off. The other thing that I'm proud of myself because I think it's this kind of situation that I've like avoided for a number of years. Because I think like even 2 years ago, if I'd been in a situation, I would have left feeling a lot more like questioning my self worth or wondering if I did something wrong. And at this point, it's like no, like he wasn't good, like that wasn't fun. And it's a lot more by like my standards, and no part of it is like, oh, but Cynthia, like, are you telling, like, are you lying to yourself? It's like no, like I can do better. So that made me think a lot. It was interesting. Um, and I think it was bound to happen at some point, but yeah, it definitely is going to make me be more careful with the people I pursue in the future, which I don't think is a bad thing. Um, so yeah, those are the two main growing pains. But neither of them are bad, and I'm excited in the upcoming month or two. I have like a few really good people visiting me, which I'm excited for. We're having a housewarming party coming up, so I'll keep you updated about all of it. And always reach out to me, tell me how you're doing. Um, and um, I'm thinking about making some more YouTube videos just about like issues or questions, so stay tuned about that. Less about my personal life and more about my like thoughts and ideas. So yeah, thanks for watching, and happy autumn, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.